So yes, again, I'm Sam Russem. I'm here to talk about the work that we at Kanoa did with our planet Earth. So we get to double dip a little bit into this sustainability webinar because we are introducing smart manufacturing technology that improves sustainability overall for a company that literally does sustainable recycling work too. So really great that we get to be here today and share this. So our Planet Earth, very cool company. It was great to have the opportunity to work with them. They're out in Vernon, California, and they do the type of recycling that I think most people think happens all the time. That people think it's what recycling is, but it's not. Most recycling makes intermediate products, right? I take in giant plastic bales like you see at the top, and they might be making bags of plastic flake that they would then resell. Our Planet Earth is different. They are a fully integrated recycling plant. They get big bales of plastic recycling in, like you see at the top here, and they output food grade plastic packaging all within the same facility. So that gives them a lot of advantages in their green footprint and is a really just efficient way to be making recycled products. Oh, sorry, I went a little too far. Especially since they are a sustainability focused company, the more they can drive efficiency in their own operations, the more sustainable they can be and the more product they can go out there and put into the world that is this good green product, right? But they did have some operational constraints that were holding them back from the full efficiency that they could be producing at. Specifically, a lot of manual systems, paper logs, and Excel spreadsheets. And that really led to no visibility into real-time performance. It could be days, definitely shifts, but sometimes days before an operational issue could be caught and tried to get run home and fixed. So our Planet Earth reached out to Kanoa. Kanoa, we are a MES platform within Ignition that our core solutions, Kanoa Core, Ops, Trace, and Quality, can help expand Ignition to take on these MES type functions. For this particular product, we acted as both the solution provider in terms of the software, and this actually comes in from a part of Kanoa's history. We've been working with this customer for a while, where we really helped them with the implementation of this as well. Though normally we are selling our software and working with customer teams or other integrators or things like that to help them implement a lot of Kanoa. So what we needed to do in our solution, we needed to seamlessly connect to their real-time equipment data. We needed to provide some new user interfaces for any time that manual input was still going to be necessary. We needed to automate a lot of the data processing that was done in those really complex Excel spreadsheets and eliminate redundant entry. It was not uncommon to find times that people might have to read a reading from a screen, write it down on a piece of paper, type it into an Excel spreadsheet, and enter that same number into their ERP. So we're trying to really take that down to one manual entry at the most, hopefully zero, by collecting it from an automated piece of data. We did this with our solution, Kanoa Ops, for phase one. This is where a lot of our customers start with Kanoa. This is our platform for the organization, control, and analysis of all of your day-to-day manufacturing operations. So the output is OEE, downtime analysis, and production counts wrapped up into batch tickets and then sent up to ERP to reconcile inventory and close out orders. And within Kanoa Ops, to get that done, we're giving you tools to create all of your assets, define your materials, your shifts, your work orders, and schedule all of that work, and then track production throughout the day. As I mentioned, the Kanoa platform is a part of that can extend the Ignition ecosystem that you have today. So Ignition is providing all of that PLC and ERP connectivity that we need. We like to say at Kanoa that if you can get the data into Ignition, we can do anything that you need with it from there. So whether you are talking to Siemens PLCs or talking over DH Plus or something to get all of your field equipment data into Ignition, then we're using something like the web development module to talk to your ERP to bring in order information and things like that. And we are using that flattened stack of Ignition to merge our automation data and our business data, then leveraging Kanoa MES to make it all make sense together. So for our pilot program, any good smart manufacturing initiative starts with a pilot. We started on their extrusion area. So this is the first part of the manufacturing process at rPlanet. They've already recycled the raw materials. They've turned that into flake. The first thing they're going to do is pump that through their extruders to make rolls of extruded plastic that then they will take through the rest of their manufacturing process to make end products. This area was selected because the lines had some machine connectivity, but not all, so we would get to test both automatic and manual collection. That the team was very engaged in their process and had a couple of specific points where they knew that Kanoa could bring improvements. And since this was the first part of that manufacturing process, any efficiencies gained here would help to improve the efficiency of everything downstream from it in manufacturing. So the result was a Kanoa ops system that would monitor automatically each line's state, work order, item, and performance. We would initiate and close all of their production runs and batch tickets. We would automatically log in 4 different materials that could be fed into the line at a time. We would manually log all of their produced rolls and scrap. We could track and validate all of their downtime. And again, at the end of the day, we would have a team go through, validate all of the data we collected, hit a one-click transfer button, and we would package all that data up and close out the order in ERP. Here's a couple of screenshots for what came out of this. Here's a sample of one of their downtime reports, giving them information on downtime by category and reason, by shift, and by day. For example, we can see they had one big downtime here that affected them, where they usually have other smaller downtimes that might accumulate to less. This is a sample of one of our run review screens. This is one of the big outputs that comes from a Kanoa ops implementation. What you can see from this is all of the different runs that they've done, all of the materials they were running at the time, in feed, out feed, waste, and things like their OEE by component for each of those individual runs. Another thing we wanted to talk about was the Smart Scale project. So we did that first pilot, and then we did a small extension right after that to try to automate more of the manual process of weighing output from the lines. So they invested in getting a smart scale where they could weigh these rolls. And then we installed a tablet. We had a Zebra printer out there. So now we changed the workflow from something where people are manually going to a scale, writing down a number, having to go into Kanoa and type it in. Now they simply weigh it. They click the line that it came from on their tablet, and we record everything and print out the proper labels. So this eliminated all of that manual data entry that they needed. It created a real-time pipeline to their ERP where every time they would post an output here, we would immediately send it to the ERP, reducing errors and lag time and enabling better visibility. After that pilot success, we did go ahead and extend Kanoa ops to the remaining lines at the plant. Overall, they've seen an 18% increase in their inventory accuracy and gone through and standardized these processes across their facility. And we're continuing to work with them on the next evolutions of this project. For example, we are actively working on Kanoa quality to capture a lot of the quality checks that they're doing today with both automatic and manual data. And we're implementing Kanoa Trace with the goal of one day being able to take a specific piece of packaging that came off of that line and trace that all the way back to the specific recyclable bales that contributed to it.